Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for coming. Share, share, share. Share, share, share. Share, share, share. I want you to share and share and share while we populate. Okay. Share, share, share. The breaking news, breaking news. Share, share, share. Let's discuss this breaking news from the United States of America. Share and share and share. Okay. Let's discuss this breaking news in America. Yes. So we're just getting the information that ADF leaders, two ADF leaders, AGOVC leaders have been arrested. So we hear that their arrests came in the light of the United States legal system, where they said Kwo and Wongbi were arrested due to the activities within the ADF and AGOVC. So the arrest of Amazonian activists, as we all know, in the United States, reveal both the reach and the limits of the U.S. legal system in dealing with foreign conflicts. We see on one hand the U.S. Senate, the U.S. representative, the House of Rep, is asking the government of Cameroon to go for negotiation. On the other hand, Cameroon government, instead of going for negotiation, they spend their time to bribe, go and give false claims of people, that these people are doing this. Just like that, that's what they do. For the past 9 years, the government of Cameroon have gone behind the back of certain justice system in America. American justice system does not work like that. Okay, the the federal prosecutors always focus on evidence. Okay, you must have strong evidence. Okay, not every raid, every investigation is gonna lead to arrest. You saw they did for Chris Arno twice. They did for Tapang Ivo. Okay, all those guys have been investigated. They did not see all these things that they are saying of kidnapping, inciting violence, and all those things that they are saying. Okay, there are many groups, many interim governments here in America that are fighting for their freedom, fighting against rogue regime. Okay, from Venezuela to Syria, from different countries that they know that they are rogue regime, North Korea, eh, even Russians are here. They have governments. Okay, but America will not go and arrest them for being activists. Okay, there are thousands and millions of activists, in America. Okay, but what America, the legal system, in America, is trying to illustrate its complexity. Okay, how you have to show proof. Okay, that you have to show strong proof of evidence that these people are committing crime in America. Okay, activism is not a crime. Okay, don't get misled between activism and other criminal activities. Those are two different things. Okay, more importantly, the prosecutions do not address the root causes of the Amazonian problem. So they can go to court, but most courts don't have jurisdiction to try cases which has to do with international countries. So when they go, that's what they do. Even for, you see, the case that Tapang Ivo put before the judge said this case is not in my jurisdiction. Okay, you cannot carry a case that that has nothing to do with your jurisdiction. This is not a Njangi case. This is not a local case between two people fighting for Njangi. This is a case between, it's a historical case that is at the United Nations. You hear Russia just mentioned it of recent. So America has nothing to do with stopping the Amazonians for fighting for their freedom. Those are two different things that people should not get mixed up. Okay, those are two different things. I know some people maybe might get confused between that, what is going on and all those. No, okay, that's why you see, this is what Ambassador Tibor Nagy posted, right? See, this is what he posted. Okay, let me already say, Trump. This is what he posted when this guy is a very strong activist in America, but Tibor Nagy posted this when the guy wrote it. Okay, he said Trump must stop countries like Cameroon from its attempt to terrorize Cameroonian and Ambazonian dissidents on U.S. soil. You know, this is what, okay, that Cameroon is the latest country to turn its sights on its American diaspora. President Paul Biya is 92-year-old and is rarely seen as henchmen govern in his name. Tapang Ivo, the former spokesman for the Ambazonian Defense Forces, sued pro-Biya activist Emmanuel Salai for false report leading to swatting of Ivo's home in the U.S. Minnesota-based activists Benedict Kwa and Pascal Kiki Wongbi also face harassment due to tendentious Cameroonian report to the FBI. Okay, so these are just example of what is observed by international observers, right? Where they said Cameroon has remember Tapang Ivo was a spokesperson of this very ADF, AGOFC. So they took him to court, but he won. Okay, and that Salai guy was asked to pay Tapang Ivo almost $10,000. Yeah? It's not too much money, but it's around 5 million Cameroon money, right? Or 6 million Cameroon money. But what we are saying here is that this same Benedict Kwa and this other one called Pascal Kiki are now the spokesperson of this same ADF. So anything that they are doing is the same thing that Tapang Ivo was doing when Tapang Ivo was taken to court by that guy called Salai, Christopher Salai, and the guy lost. So this time around, he's not the one sending these messages anymore, because he know that he has a case with Tapang Ivo for defamation that he doesn't even know how much he's gonna pay to Tapang Ivo. That one is still there hanging. Okay, now what we know is that these guys have been charged, okay, but they have not been tried. So charge is different from tried. Okay, you can charge somebody, but you have not charged them. Okay, you see. So we see these two guys, Benedict Kwa and Pascal Kiki. They were arrested and indicted. Okay, they are all ADF leaders. Two of them were more of the ADF spokesperson too, like Tapang Ivo. Okay, and remember, Tapang Ivo went to court. Chris Ano, his home was ransacked too, right? About 2 times. Okay, but when most judges or prosecutors see the case that is before them, very few want to handle it. Okay, very few want to handle it, because you cannot handle a case that is just very not in your jurisdiction. Okay, this is what Mark Barata write. Michael Rubin exposes Biya regime's transnational crackdown on US-based dissidents. Okay, One such dissident is Tapang Ivo, the former spokesman of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, who recently sued pro-Biya activist Emmanuel Salai over what he alleges were false reports to U.S. authorities. These reports reportedly led to the swatting of Tapang Ivo's home, a dangerous act involving the dispatch of armed police in response to a hoax emergency call. This is what happened to Tapang Ivo. Okay? Tapang Ivo was a former spokesperson of the same ADF. So, what happened? They went to court and the judge did not see any evidence that all this thing that Emmanuel Salai was cooking with the Cameroon government, that is no factual thing. There is no factual evidence to suggest that Tapang Ivo was a kidnapper, to suggest that Tapang Ivo now won the case. And what happened when you win a case in America? You counter sue. Okay? The counter sue now means that Tapang Ivo is taking Emmanuel Salai to court. Emmanuel Salai is Cameroon. So Tapang Ivo is taking Cameroon to court. Because Emmanuel Salai represents Cameroon. He's a Cameroon lawyer representing Cameroon. So now we don't know how much damages, they call it damages. When you defame somebody's character, you carry somebody to court without evidence, then the person win you. Here in America, it's called defamation. They don't play with defamation cases. Okay, they don't play with defamation cases. You don't even know how much you're going to pay that person. That's why before you carry somebody to court here in America, be very careful. Have real evidence. Don't just say this person is this or this person is this. Okay, let's go to court. Go and prove it. Bring evidence, bring video, bring written this thing, bring everything you can bring. But once you go to court and you cannot prove that person, that is defamation. And there's counter lawsuit. In America, they don't play with that. If they say you pay this person $100,000, you got to pay that money. You can run, whether you run go well. So let Cameroon government be very careful, because they are doing this thing like this. They think that they will just carry people to court, then it will end there in court. No. If Benedict Kwa and this other guy go to court now, then the Cameroon government and whoever is doing it, whoever is trying to prove them, that is taking them to court, cannot prove them that they are doing what they are saying that they are doing. That person who is representing Cameroon will be the one to be paying their court bills, because there will be counter lawsuit like what Tapang Ivo is doing now to that one in the charge and bail lawyer in whether it's California, where is this Salai. You don't just carry cases on your head as a lawyer and start running with that case. You don't even look back to know who gave you that case and how the case has weight. Okay, they have tried. If they want to arrest people, the real leaders that are here, nobody can touch them, because those are true activists. Activism is not just going to be making noise up and down. No. The American government know who are activists in this America. They have tried. They have not been able to do anything. Let them go arrest someone like Chris Ano, or they arrest someone like Sakuna. They are there. Don't waste time with go arrest look at Mangang. This is Mangang that was arrested and was sent to jail. She was sending her container in Cameroon, and she put some few stuff there. They said, oh, she's promoting terrorism. Mangang was sent to 2 years imprisonment here in America. That's Mangang. She's out. You see, she's smiling. So American court does not lock people like Cameroon, that you just carry people and put in jail for life. No, they want to see what you did, and there is everything on law. They'll say, okay, you did commit this crime. This is your charge. This is the term that you spend in prison. Mangang spent 2 years in prison for, they say, carrying those things in her container. some stuff that was proof of that she want to go and supply weapon to the. I don't know whether it was walkie-talkies, these walkie-talkie things, or what. But those are the little things that they see in manga's container. That these guys are just looking around for little things to put people in problem. Okay, but at the end of the day, Mangan came out 2 years. She's there smiling. Mangan is out after 2 years of prison, right? She went to prison in America for the same charges that they are sending all these guys now to promoting terrorism, this, all that things. But they don't want to take it towards the side to show proof that this is a crisis of Southern Cameroon, and okay, they are trying to dodge that area. You know, when they are doing this, you see the language that some these guys are using. They will not talk about the crisis in Cameroon. They want the American government to charge you for a crime as if you are just doing you are somebody selling weapon. You see, but they are not trying to link it up to what the struggle is in Cameroon and Southern Cameroon, and that's where they short fought or they fail short or they fall short of their because look at Mangan, right? It's the same thing that will happen to anyone that you are promoting terrorism. Then they want to see what they don't say any short of their because look at Mangan, right? It's the same thing that will happen to anyone promoting terrorism. And see what think that is 2 years imprisonment, and you come back and there's no proof. Okay, if these guys are not proven guilty, like Tapang Ivo or Chris Ano or anybody that these guys are just going to put charges on, they're just going to put charges of people like that without evidence. They should bring evidence that this person is doing this, so that when you go to court, you bring the evidence. Okay, but if you don't have evidence, be prepared for counter lawsuit. In America, it's just like you see somebody that a car hit that person, bam, the person is happy. If a car hits you in America, somebody is happy. Why? They may not die, but if that car jamming, boom, you know why? Because the insurance of that person's car is gonna take care of your bill. You're gonna file charges on that person and the lawyer and everything and the insurance. So you are looking at a kind of amount of money that you don't even know how much they're gonna pay you. They're gonna pay for your car. They're gonna pay for your hospital bill. They're gonna pay for your own health. They're gonna pay for all that. So everybody in America is very safe with the legal system. The law is not that kind of law that you go and bribe somebody, then they will put a man for life imprisonment. Like in Cameroon, that kind of barbaric laws in Cameroon is not. You understand? So everybody going to jail in America is happy. One, you chop 3 times per day. Good food, not that nonsense food that they cook there in the Cameroon dungeon. No, you eat 3 times every day. You have a nurse come and check you, medication, everything. You have good health care inside the prison. So if you come out, you can't even know whether Mangan spent 2 years in prison, right? This Mangan, very happy. You go and spend 2 years in prison. See, this is when Mangan came out of jail. See how she's happy. 2 years. American prison is not that kind of prison. Okay? Let me go to my talking point here. Arrests abroad, resistance at home. Why detaining Amazonian activists in the US will not end the war. That's the heading of my talking point For 9 years, the war in southern Cameroon, known as to its people as Ambazonia, has raged with devastating consequences. Villages burned, thousands killed, millions displaced, and the entire region militarized. Yet, the conflict shows no signs of resolution. The recent arrest of Ambazonian activists in the United States, many accused of fundraising for armed resistance, are being hailed by the Biya government as a victory in curbing separatist momentum. But such optimism is misplaced. Far from weakening the movement, these arrests highlight the depth of international frustration with Cameroon's government and expose its refusal to engage in genuine dialogue and negotiation. If history is any guide, suppressing voices abroad will not silence demands for justice at home. It will only deepen grievances and prolong the war. The first reason why arrests abroad cannot end the war is simple. The root causes of the crisis are domestic, not foreign. Ambazonia's grievances did not begin in Washington, Berlin, or London. They began in Buea, Bamenda, and Kumbo. Decades of marginalization, the abolition of the federal system in 1972, the imposition of French civil law in English-speaking courts, and the neglect of infrastructure in Anglophone region all built a foundation of resentment. When teachers and lawyers peacefully protested in 2016, they met with bullets, arrests, and military raids. These internal injustices, not diaspora activism, ignited the conflict. Arresting a few activists in the United States does nothing to address these systematic issues. Unless Yaoundé confronts the political roots of the crisis, the war will persist regardless of who sits in foreign jails. Secondly, the diaspora is not the movement, it is only an extension of it. Ambazonian communities abroad have played a significant role in raising awareness, lobbying international institutions, and funding humanitarian relief. But the struggle itself is powered by ordinary people in southern Cameroon, farmers who have lost their land, students deprived of education, mothers who bury their children after military raid. For every activist arrested in the US, there are thousands of young men and women in Ambazonia who feel they have nothing left to lose. The arrests may cut some funding channel or create temporary confusion in the diaspora leadership, but the resistance on the ground, driven by lived oppression, cannot be handcuffed in America. Thirdly, these arrests risk backfiring by reinforcing the narrative that the world is complicit in Ambazonian suffering. Many sounding Cameroonians see themselves as victims of a global conspiracy. France shield Biya at the United Nations. International organizations issue only humanitarian statements. And now, even the United States, once a beacon of democracy, is perceived as siding with the dictator in Yaoundé. The perception fuels distrust and radicalizes voices within the movement. Instead of silencing the struggle, arrests abroad risks hardening its resolve, convincing activists that justice cannot be found in international diplomacy only through self-reliance and continued resistance. Fourth, the Cameroonian government has weaponized this arrest as propaganda while doing nothing to address the root conflict. Officials in Yaoundé present in the US persecutions are proof that Ambazonia is barely criminal or terrorist in nature, ignoring the political origins of the struggle. Yet the approach has been tried before, from the 1990s crackdown on the Southern Cameroon National Council, the NCNC, to the mass arrest of teachers and lawyers in 2016. Repression has never erased the Anglophone problem. If anything, it has entrenched it. By celebrating arrests abroad while refusing dialogue at home, Biya's regime only signals its unwillingness to find a peaceful solution. Fifth, the lack of genuine dialogue is the core reason for the war drags on into a ninth year. Time and again, opportunities for negotiation has been squandered. The so-called Major National Dialogue of 2019 excluded key separatist leaders and offered only cosmetic solutions like special status for Anglophone regions. International mediation proposal from Switzerland, the African Union, the Canada, and the church-led initiative were dismissed by Yaoundé. By refusing to sit at the table, Biya has left violence as the only language that seems to carry weight. Arresting diaspora leaders while maintaining silence on dialogue is like cutting branches while leaving the tree's root intact. The conflict will always grow back. In conclusion, the arrest of Ambazonian activists in the United States may provide Cameroon with short-term political theater, but they will not resolve the war. The struggle is not sustained by courtrooms in America, but by decades of injustices in southern Cameroon. If Biya truly wishes to end the bloodshed, he must move beyond symbolic victories and embrace genuine negotiation that tackle the heart of the crisis. Political autonomy, respect for the Anglophone identity, and justice for the victims of state violence. Until then, the war will remain not only unresolved but aggravated, fueled by repression abroad and resistance at home. The lesson is clear: peace cannot be handcuffed and justice cannot be silenced. That was my talking point. Thank you. And you see, I just put everything together in one piece. You can silence dissent abroad, but the resistance is home. The resistance started at home. It did not start in the United States. Resistance. We were just there to support, to see that our people have humanitarian relief. Our people, trying to send transport, help them to come out from the crisis at home. Some help them to travel, go to refugee camps in Nigeria. Some internally displaced. That is the work of the diaspora. You cannot stop that. In every revolution, in every resistance movement, the diasporans have been the key to sustain the strength. That's why instead of focusing on resolving the problem, Yaoundé think that they can resolve the problem by arresting leaders. For 9 years, they've arrested a whole cabinet. What changed? They arrested Siseko Ayok Tabe in 2019, right? What changed after 2019, after the arrest of Ayok Tabe and the rest? Nothing changed. Sako took over. New government. So that is how this thing works. Yaoundé cannot tell me that they don't understand this. Okay? They keep doing the same thing over and over, making the same mistake, the same mistake over and over. And how does that help? The leaders have passed lockdown. They have said no election in Cameroon, no election in southern Cameroon. Okay. So what do you do? Because the election in there is only to still give Paul Biya another term. So there is no need for election. Okay. There's no need for election. What election? Come October, there will be the coronation of Paul Biya as the eternal ruler of La République. It does not matter his vegetative state. Okay, no matter how Biya is, whether Biya is peeing in his pants, whether he's pooing or whether he's doing what to, they will still elect him. The Cameroon people have no choice. Okay, they have no choice, and that's their only solution. Okay, they have no choice than to vote the same person because it's in their neck. Okay, they have tied their neck like that. They have no choice. Okay. Yeah, the Ambazonian Liberation Movement. You saw the Ambazonian Liberation guys. They announced a lockdown. Okay, has announced the shutdown of the Ambazonian territory from September 8th. Okay, that is from tomorrow Monday. to 26th. But they say weekends will be respected. It means that nothing will happen on the weekends. This is from Monday to Friday, every Monday to Friday. So then again from October 2nd, October 1st is Amazonian holiday, National Independence Day. So don't forget. So from the 2nd to the 13th, this week is a week of election. So these are just to make sure that this week, September 8th to 26th, is the week of school reopening. So they don't want to respect, that school reopening. Okay, that's that week. So that's how it goes, because this happened every year, so this is not new. Okay, but see what happened yesterday. See what happened yesterday. This is how, you see, 7 military lost their life. 7 in Fako. Then Biya don't want to go for negotiation. When you arrest people, whether you go and spend all those millions and millions of money, you go and spend millions, that they should arrest one person. How is that arrest of one person solving the problem? It's not solving anything. It's only aggravating the problem. That's why you see this happening here now. Yesterday, 7. This is the communique of the leaders about no election in Ambazonia. You see, all the leaders signed. They made it clear that no election in Ambazonia. Okay, those are the point. They said, okay, yeah, we affirm Ambazonian continue to use their community schools to ensure Amazonian children fundamental rights of education. They will prefer more of community schools. Okay. Then La Republic is reminded that since 2017, the sovereignty of Amazonia was restored. Therefore, there will be no election monitoring, or any activity connected with the election within the territory boundaries of Amazonia. Okay, anyone participating in the October election within Amazonia will be actively participating in the annexationist and colonial militarization of Amazonia. Leaders shall concert with self-defense forces to ensure. So these are the leaders. You see, all of them signed. Iya Marianta, Chris Ano, Daphne Yerima, Ebenezer Akwanga, Difang, Elvis Kometa, prisoners of conscience. All these people signed. Civil society. That is how, they prove that they are. You see, that's it. And you can say what you want to say, but Ambazonia is not a place that someone will just come and just do anything like that. It's so terrible. Look at what happened. This is what happened in. You see, La Republic. Look at the destruction of this military. So think of it. If they cannot solve the problem, the root causes of the problem, you can arrest 20 leaders, 30 leaders. You are wasting the time. Go and go do the negotiation. Canada came for negotiation. First of all, they lavish the Grand National Dialogue by following some of those allies to go to Yaoundé and say they are doing the dialogue. There wasn't any dialogue. Now Switzerland came after. The Swiss government said, "Oh, I have experience to negotiate. I did the negotiation between Somali and Somaliland. I did negotiation between Eritrea and Ethiopia. Sudan and South Sudan. It was still Switzerland. Switzerland government came. The Cameroon government sent a delegation, and some of the leaders also went there. They started the process. The Swiss government rallied all these 2 delegations, and they were training them, giving them feedback of how negotiation is being done. That is the first days or the first few months. It's not like you just go and start talking about negotiation. No, there was a training going on between Cameroon delegation and Southern Cameroon delegation, Ambazonian delegation leaders. So the Switzerland government was ready to mediate. But what happened after? The Cameroon government realized that they will not win. You know, when you have two teams playing, and the other team realize that this team, imagine Barcelona playing a team that maybe is not that strong, right? You know how Barcelona can. Amazonian leaders were the Barcelona. The Cameroon delegation in Switzerland were now team the Messi. Just take a team like a local team. Imagine how many zero the Amazonian leaders would have given a Cameroon delegation. What happened? Cameroon delegation left. They abandoned the Swiss-led negotiation process. Next came Canada. Canada came to help. All these countries are countries that came to help in this process, seeing that the Amazonian people have a genuine cause. So anybody is coming now to say, oh, come on, these things. the United Nations went to Yaoundé. They handed Biya two maps. They say, hey, this is Southern Cameroon. This is La République du Cameroon. 2011, before this crisis started. So the United Nations delegation went to Cameroon and they were telling Paul Biya. So any country that come to mediate, they have seen the genuineness of the crisis. They have seen the genuineness of the Amazonian people. Okay, history is on our side. The truth is on our side. Our land is our land. Nobody can come and seize it from us. Okay, so don't say this is not right or this is not. You are not the one to come and decide who is right or you know. No, history, everything is there. Eh? Look at what this is. Look, see, Southern Cameroon is here. British mandate. We were colonized by the British. We had Cameroon had an independence before us. 1 year after we had our independence in 1960. Okay, that's it. Look at then. Amazonia had their independence in 1961. Okay, so how do you parallel these two countries and you say they are, it's just La République du Cameroon? No, this practice common law. We practice common law. The French Cameroon practice their civil law. Okay, that's it. Look at, you see, we had a first college. It was Sase Secondary School. This school is Mboya in 1939. This is their old Lycée Général Leclerc. This is their first school that they had. They have had two presidents already. Aijo ruled for 22 years. Biya has ruled for 42 years. Our capital is Boya. Yaoundé is their capital. English is our official language, while French is their official language. So these are two countries that came together, and they can live like Quebec is living within Canada. Who know that Quebec is a French region made up of 20% of the Canadian population. The same as Amazonia is made up of 20%, okay, of both Cameroon and Southern Cameroon. So that region has its autonomy. Nobody, Canadians, the 80% of English-speaking Canadians don't go to Quebec to say they want to change their language. That area is a French area. They have their own lottery, Quebec lottery. They have their own what they are doing there. For God's sake, nobody go there and disturb them. That you want to change Quebec to be English. Imagine if the majority of Canada now go to Quebec. Their capital is Ontario. They go there, they say, we want to change this to French. We'll come and be doing this. No, it doesn't happen like that. They respect that area is a French area. And Quebec has had two referendums. The people voted to stay within Canada. Imagine. Because of the treatment that the Canadian people are giving to them. They feel that they belong, They feel that they belong in Canada. That's why they don't want to even talk about going out and going this, But think of it. If you have a region that is French, you come and put people there that doesn't even speak, even small thing they cannot speak. See this one.
All that man who is stay in the bush and talk no school. Tomorrow, you hear in the voice of the mayor and the deputy, he brings small package who will help you.
If someone can translate what this man is saying, then please help me. This is a Frenchman sent as a DO, divisional officer in Moyoka, but his English is as good as bad as you can say. Listen to him.
The person who is going will take you. It's not the truth. If all of you decide today to sing that man, to find who is your neighbor in your house, who is a stranger, you take your phone and send the message.
You see?
You say, I seen the man where
his English is as bad as I don't even want to listen to that. I don't even know what I can't even understand what he's saying. But this somebody that has been appointed from the French side to come and work in the English side. He doesn't know how to speak the English language. He doesn't know the culture of the people. He doesn't know the people he's dealing with. These are the people. The same thing as it's like this, the same thing in schools, the same things in the courts. That's why you saw the teachers and lawyers went on strike. So, you see, the root causes of the problem has not been resolved. I saw the other day some lawyers were telling, about the bar council thing that, they have been sidelined, they have bring in these people that do notary, the notary public, that they have brought in notaries from French area to come and take their jobs. Those notaries will be the one to sign any document. So the lawyers now have been sidelined. Oh my God. When we're telling them that, keep fighting for your right. Until the last day. Don't say, okay, we are tired. You cannot be tired. Because what these people are doing is gradual eradication of our culture. Gradual eradication of our people. Everything is gradually, but you don't see it coming. Look at Sonara. They burned Sonara. What happened? They went to Kribi and opened another refinery. Look at the Limbe Deep Sea Port. This is what you watching this man making that is wrong English. You would have been asking him, where is there? Moyoka to Ombe is not far. Ombe was that electricity plant was there. The power cam. The power cam was the one powering all southern Cameroon. We had full light 24/7. There was no problem with electricity. Where is power cam today? They abandoned power cam in Muteng in Ombe. The school in Ombe, that government school there, the one that is technical school, government technical school Ombe, was the best in southern Cameroon, where they were training, youths were being trained. Where are these youths going to have jobs now? Imagine if there was an airport. Imagine if there was that railway station taking anything from anywhere around, taken to the Limbe Deep Sea Port for exporting and everything. We have a huge market in Nigeria. The biggest economy in Africa is Nigeria. It's our neighbor. So how do you think within the next how many years Ambazonia will be the best countries? Because we have the resources, we have the market. We don't need La Republic. If the way they are treating us now, it can be how, if you see South Korea and Korea today, they were one country before, but what happened? The way North Korea was treating their South Korean people today, like this, if you go to that border, you see South Korean army standing like that, North Korean army standing like this. That middle is called demilitarized zone. The North Korean man is standing like this and looking the South Korean man like this on their border. Nobody is passing. There's no border crossing because of the wickedness of the North Koreans. The South Koreans don't want to catch North Koreans in South Korea, but that South Korea that North Korea was maltreating before, they have the best electronic companies in the world now. LG Electronics, Samsung, Hyundai for for the vehicles, and what else? They have so many vehicle companies, but that is a country that was maltreated by the North Koreans when they were living together. That's what we're telling La Republic government and La Republic people. The treatment you are giving our people today, don't forget about tomorrow. That same rich land, the way you are treating our people. Tomorrow, when we separate, that border, it will be it will be no crossing on that border because of the way. But if you treat our people well, like the way the Nigerian people treated us when we left them, we live with Nigeria for 40 good years. They never cause any problem when our parents say, okay, we are leaving you people who are going to form our government in Boya. They never shoot one gun. But we want to say, hey, okay, we want to form our own country now. Enough. We have lived with you people for the past 60 years. You carry your military and attack our people, killing our people, all this kind of thing on our people. Then you want us to forget or to just keep staying with you people. I see many Francophone guys telling you people to apologize. If you have the real sense of humanity, you tell that government to carry out all that their military out of Ambazonia. Because whatever you're doing is a waste of time. The generation, 8 million people is not it's not a small number. Ambazonia are 8 million people. Eritrea won their war when they were 1 million, 1.2 million, or how many million? They were not even up to 3 million people. They won their war with Ethiopia. South Sudan, the same thing. South Sudan, they were not even up to 3 million, but they still won their war against Sudanese. So think of it. You're coming to arrest diasporans. The real people are there with their weapons fighting. Diasporans will not hold gun to fight. So no matter who you arrest in diaspora, it's a waste of time. Go and resolve the problem. The root causes of the problem. The root causes of the problem. The more the Yaoundé regime wastes time, they are wasting their time. So what have we learned? Ambazonia shares the grievances that drove Eritrea, South Sudan, and Somaliland. The cultural identity, the historical injustices that they face, and the resource exploitation. But it lacks three critical things: international recognition, unity among the leaders, and favorable geopolitics. But until those signs, the dream of independence remains locked in the people of Southern Cameroon. No matter what difficulty that the people of Southern Cameroon are seeing today, there is the way forward. Okay? No matter the arrests of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 leaders, the Naira 10 were arrested, the struggle continues. Whoever has been arrested, the struggle continues. Our brave warriors, courageous fighters are still there in the battlefield. So what else can you be afraid of? If the brave people are on the ground still fighting for their own survival. So anybody can say whatever they say, but for the past 9 years, if La Republique was wise enough, they couldn't have even started this useless war. The greatest mistake they did was to start this war in the first place, instead of going to negotiate. That mistake is following them till today. Yesterday, almost 8 to 9 soldiers lost their life. The other week was about 7 soldiers that lost their life, just like that. Those are people's children dying for the old and haggard people in Yaoundé there to stay in power. They are using the war as another means of staying in power. They are not using the war to gain something. Their only benefit is that they want to stay in power. That's all. But there's time for everything. Yeah, there's time for everything. Thank you for watching. God bless you. God bless the people of Southern Cameroon and Bazonia.